on a Wednesday. Let me do some checking here, folks. Make sure everything looks good and sounds good. We've been having some problems with these Wheelchair Wednesdays. The past couple that we've done have been very echoey. So we're going to see and try to make sure that we're not echoey today. Let's see. Oh, look at that. I fixed it. Woohoo! Give myself a round of applause with that one. Yeah. All right, guys. It is another Wednesday. So today we are talking to another good friend from Virginia. He's going to come in. We're going to ask him some questions about life in a wheelchair. Be a fun time. But before we get to going with that, you know that we got to hit the intro. Welcome to Wheelchair Wednesday. All right, guys. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and welcome our guest, Mr. John Pace. What is up, sir?
Hey, man. How's it going?
Pretty good. How you doing today?
I am very well. Very well.
Nice, nice. Well, I got to start it like we start every one of them. The first question is pretty much, how did it happen? How did your whole thing happen? And then what did you end up with level of injury? So why don't you go ahead and tell us about that story?
All right. So, let's see. I was here on... I was actually in town here in Virginia. I was living in Nashville at the time, but I was in town helping a nephew of mine out, and my granddad wanted me to go help him on a roof, so I went and helped him on a roof, and then just had a misstep and fell off the roof and landed just right to break. I busted my, what was it, like T11, T12, L1, all three of those vertebrae. So it left as a T10 complete, but there's some function that has come back over the years. So
right. That's got to be a heck of a spill, though, man. I mean, so you just landed there and you automatically knew that something was wrong, or?
Oh man! So when I landed, I had my eyes closed. I was still awake. I didn't like get knocked out or nothing, and it felt like my feet were like straight up in the air.
Oh man!
And when I looked, I was just like a heap on the ground instead, and I was like, "Oh man, looks like this is a broken back," because I had military experience and stuff like that, a lot of first aid training, so I kind of realized sort of immediately that it was spinal cord injury, just because
Right. Oh, something happened. What's going on here? Oh, I thought I lost you there for a second. So you said you're a T11, T10, right? Or
T10, yeah.
Yeah, T10, yep. All right, well, let me ask you this question. Would you walk if you could? Now, by that, I mean, if you could go back and, stop from falling off that roof and live your life the way you could have lived it then, would you have done that and then given up this life, or would you keep going the way you're at?
Oh, man. I mean, at this point, I'd say keep going where I'm at. But to go back and be able to, just full function, be able to run, jump, everything just like before.
Yeah.
That's what. Well.
Pretty much, you get to go back, but you have to delete everything that's happened since then. So you go back and you know what I mean.
Go back to that day, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so. Not at this point.
All right, I'm with you. I'm only 3 years in, and I'm with you.
Yeah, because. I mean, at the time, I was married to a lady. We ain't married anymore, and realized it probably wasn't that great to begin with.
Right.
And got a nice house in a quiet little neighborhood now, instead of like the big bustling city of Nashville. Yeah, so I mean, things are better. Like, I have a chance at being a pro athlete now, whereas probably never would have happened if it hadn't been for a spinal cord injury.
Right.
So.
Yeah, a lot of things can change for the better in your life with something like this.
Oh, yeah.
It just can go either way. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, I guess that there's always the mentality where I feel sorry for myself or whatever, which everybody goes through it a little bit for a while.
Right.
Like it's a brief period, but some people never come out of it. Yeah, I've known a fella that, or known of a fella. I didn't know him personally, but he's my age, and I think he'd been injured about the same amount of time, and he gave up and checked out.
Dang.
So
Yeah, it can always get worse. That's for sure.
yeah,
You don't ever want to do that. Now, you had mentioned something about, you had a wife or like a girlfriend or wife or something, but it didn't work out. That was my next question: was dating or married? What about that?
oh well, I dated for a while, and now I've just recently uh, moved in with my girlfriend, or she moved in with me here,
Oh, nice.
which is kind of great.
Kind of great. Yep. There's always the, give and take, as they say.
Oh, oh yeah. So I mean, it's been a little transition, because it's not exactly like I had the space that she's taking up I was using or anything, but it is different living with somebody now.
Right.
A little different.
Right. Absolutely.
Not in a bad way or anything, just a little different.
Right.
Prior to getting, when I split up with the other one, say the marriage, and moved back here, that was a rough time. That was a really rough time. Just the whole thing, because the injury was new. She had no idea about the injury. Of course, my girlfriend now, she's a nurse.
Right.
So I guess she knows how to handle stuff with me and all that. So it's
Nice.
a lot better.
Right. For sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for that share, Mike. Appreciate it. Hello, Ann. This is a live show, so if people have to, if they have questions or anything, they can always chime in, and if it's appropriate enough, I'll ask them, because you can imagine with some of these people, man, they think they're just minds in the gutter.
Right.
What is your biggest pet peeve about being in a chair?
I mean, I don't really have one necessarily. I've kind of gotten used to the stranger going, "You're such an inspiration." I'm like, well, I'm just getting a can of pea soup off the shelf here, but
Right.
but cool that you're inspired by that. So at first that was kind of weird to me, but other than that, I'd say that I don't really have too many pet peeves. I guess like having to get the stuff on the top shelf sucks.
Yeah, having to ask people for help when you used to be able to do this no problem, and
Yeah, right.
Yep, I'm with you there.
That-
Yeah, yep. What is something that you wish you could do now that you can no longer do, aside from the obvious one that we all answer?
Right. I really enjoyed the line of work I was in, which was like cable construction and stuff. So climbing
Okay.
So I guess that's probably the biggest thing, is just missing physical labor, which
Right.
on the back end of that, I started talking to like some of the wheelchair bodybuilders, just through social media and stuff, and got into it myself by talking to them, and they're like, "Hey, you should try it." So that's what I've been doing the past 3 years now, was wheelchair bodybuilding, and that kind of gave me that physical aspect back that I was lacking.
Right.
So yeah, I really like manual labor, shoulders down kind of work.
I was gonna say, you've only been bodybuilding for 3 years, and from the pictures I've seen, I mean, you're pretty swelled up. I mean, you've won any trophies or anything?
Yeah, this year at the MPC Nationals, I got first in men's physique, first in masters, and then first in the middleweight class.
Nice.
I didn't win all, but I did place first in those three divisions. And then, the kid that I lost to, he looked better than I did, I guess. So
Right. Probably a little younger or something, right?
28. I'm 43, so I'm going to try to give it the next few years and see where it goes from here, for sure.
Yeah, it might as well. I mean, if anything, it keeps you in tip-top shape. You know what I mean? And
I don't have any problem doing transfers.
no, exactly. That's one thing I've noticed. When I first was in the hospital compared to now, is transfers are a hell of a lot easier. Back when you first get home, it feels like it's you can't do it. It feels like it's impossible. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Where's the sliding board? Oh God, this just all this stuff. You're real gingerly placing yourself and all that.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yep. So it's to have the extra, a little bit of muscle behind it. I mean, it's kind of peace of mind a little bit to know that you're able to get yourself out of those positions if you needed to be. I'm nowhere near. I'm not. I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm nowhere near as big as you are, but I get what it's like to have the strength. You know what I mean? Next question I got for you is, what about your pain levels? How is your pain levels going? Like, how do you treat them? What do you take anything for it?
Right. I don't take anything. Like every now and again, like I may have some cannabis for fun, but that's about it.
Nice.
That's just like kind of every now and again. I like to be clear-headed most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And really, ever since I started working out regularly and things like that, like my nerve pain, and all that kind of went away. So,
nice. And you said you've been in the chair for how long?
It's going on 6 years now.
6 years, okay.
Yeah, so it's like it was 5 years ago in June, so I'm in the 6th year of injury now. So.
Right. Hey, anybody that can go through one of these things and end up in the chair and not have to deal with pain, bravo! Like, I give you guys all the gumption.
I still have like the same fiery nerve pain and stuff, but it's not like, it feels more like my feet are asleep, I guess you'd say.
Right.
You remember what that was like, to sit on your foot and it go to sleep,
mm-hmm.
and then like move on it. Sometimes it's pins and needles, but most of the time it's all right. I kind of just got used to it.
Right. Ann said, "What injury level are you?" He is T10. I am T3, T4. She said she's in her 3rd year and she still has pain. Which, that's, I think everybody's, that's one thing. If you watch these Wheelchair Wednesdays, everybody's injury is different. Nobody has the same exact injury. And that's why I ask these questions, because you never know about, where somebody's pain level is or anything like that. My next question is kind of one of the more important ones, I feel like. What is the one thing that helped you the most after your injury?
Let's see. This may sound funny, but I think honestly probably getting divorced and having to figure it all out for myself.
Yeah, that would either buck you down or build you up.
Yeah. So it was from there that I had to, get busy living or giving up, one of the two. So
yeah,
I chose the other option, which it was kind of easy, I guess, because my kids were my oldest children. I think Dylan at the time, he was 23, so he was very helpful as far as like he let me stay with him till I closed on this house that I'm in now. So that was a couple months. So I really didn't have any big major problems with the transition, other than just being on my own, and there was nobody around to go, hey, can you hand me that or do this for me or whatever. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Then, like I said, man, everybody's different. Just to give you kind of an insight for me, the biggest thing that helped me was pretty much like, my family and my friends, and obviously my beautiful fiance. But the thing about it was I looked on YouTube trying to find some help, and you could only find like maybe a couple things with people, in wheelchairs that were putting up stuff. That's kind of why I was like, I'm going to do one of these things, and I'll talk to different people, and hopefully it'll help. So once again, appreciate you coming today for this. My next question I'll transition into is, what about your hobbies before and after? What did you do beforehand? Did you keep that hobby, or did you switch it up after the incident?
I just kind of worked and might have sat at home and played some video games, and now I spend all my time bodybuilding and stuff, so it's like most of my days I eat all day.
All right.
And cooking.
I mean, when you're bodybuilding, you got to have that extra intake, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I eat I guess I eat probably 6 times a day, something like that. So
what type of video games did you play?
I like playing I played every Grand Theft that ever came out, so I like that. That was kind of fun.
Nice. I think we all did.
I like but would that be like an RPG or something? So I guess the RPG games where you're somebody, just escapism at its finest,
No, yeah, absolutely. Hey, I'm an avid gamer. I play almost every day. You know what I mean? Try to. Hey, I mean, it's the only way you can get on there with some legs and run around the world and feel like you can actually still do stuff. Even before my injuries, I was a gamer, but it's It's definitely something. It's my doctor actually told me. He came in one day and I was playing Assassin's Creed, and I says, "You want me to turn this off?" And he's like, "No, no, absolutely not." He's like, "It's perfect for hand-eye coordination, for all this other different stuff." So,
Nice.
there you go. Something you didn't know.
Hey, I have to play this evening.
Right. Hey, doctor's orders.
Playing, I think, with Atari way back in the early '80s. So I guess that I've been video gaming my whole life, just about.
Right. Yeah, you've seen it. You've
Pretty
been
well.
there. You've been there from the beginning.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I've even got a VR, like the PlayStation VR, which that's really cool. If you hadn't tried it out, you got
Nice. Oh yeah, yeah. I think if you haven't done VR, you should at least try it once. You know.
Oh yeah.
What about travel? You like traveling at all?
I do. Yeah. So this year it was my middle son Austin and I. We went to we went to Dallas for the Nationals. So that was a 20-hour drive here. But yeah, we made it a road trip, which was kind of cool.
Nice.
I did, like, just to prove to myself that, like, I'd be okay traveling. Like, went and did some primitive camping, and that's just like go pitch a tent and camp. So
Right.
Went and did that, and it worked out. And so then I would actually do it, and then like I'm working on a series myself that I'm going to go and train with other wheelchair athletes. Like if they're basketball players, then I'll train with them how they train wherever they're at, and then that's going to be the web series. Is that? So,
I like that idea. You'll have to get with us when you get ready to do that, and we'll make sure we give you a shout out. You know what I mean? Put your stuff down there.
right.
Last but not least, what would be the best piece of advice that you could give to somebody who's newly injured?
So figure out everything that you can do. Get yourself stronger doing everything that you can do. You know, like physically stronger. Read some books about getting in tune with yourself. You know, like that way, because you just experienced a death really in your life. You experienced the death of who you used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to figure out how to cope with that grief instead of like, oh, I can't do this and I can't do that. You know, like there are things to hang on and be grateful for. So do those two things. You know, get physically and mentally strong. You know, and don't rely on everybody for everything and think that anybody owes you anything.
Awesome. I like it. Let's give him a round of applause, folks. Well, John, I got to say, I appreciate you coming, hanging out with us on a Wednesday.
Right on.
If you have anything like that you want us to see, or you want like your Instagram, or I don't know if you have anything that you want to share with the people, we'll put this on the description so that they can just click the link and come check you out. But besides that, yeah, thanks again, man, for coming out and hanging out with us. If anybody else, if you guys want to be a part of this, you know what to do. Send me a message, put it in the comments. You can figure it out. I mean, it's the internet. It's all kinds of different ways to get a hold of people nowadays. But besides that, John, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, so like, I think it was last year. It was either last year or the year before last. Like, I was trying to figure it all out. You know, kind of like I knew I liked the bodybuilding thing and that sort of stuff, but I was trying to figure out like how to do a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote a book. It's called Inner Fire: Discovering Purpose, and it's basically a book with writing exercises to kind of get somebody guided on a purpose that they want to fulfill, that they want to use their life to fulfill.
Nice.
So you can find it on Amazon, and then just my Instagram stuff, Instagram, Facebook is Rolling to Win. I've got the handy dandy shirt, Rolling to Win.
Yep. Nice.
That cool stuff.
Yeah, we'll click that. I'll take that stuff too. We'll take the links and we'll put it in there. That way people can check it out. Go down below and check them out.
Right.
Yeah, and we'll keep you on the loop. So we might call you back in 6 months or something, or a year, and just see how you're doing.
Oh yeah, for sure, do that.
All right, John, stick with us. Everybody else, we will see you next time on Wheelchair Wednesday. Thanks for watching.